What's up, guys? Today, of course, I'm going to be discussing the bolt-action sniper rifle in Battlefield 1 called the Russian 1895. There's three variants to this weapon you can use. The Infantry, which has iron sights and zoom sights up to 2 times, and it allows you to stay zoomed in when shooting. The Trench, which offers iron sights and a different damage model, which I'll cover separately in a second. And the Sniper, which offers scope magnifications of 6 times up to 10 times. There is a fourth version called the Cavalry version, which you get when you decide to ride horseback, and has nearly the exact same stats of the Trench variant. So when I cover the Trench variant, that will be covered too. I'll discuss optimum strategies when using the weapon and break down the numbers to give you a better understanding of them. The Infantry and Sniper variants are exactly the same in terms of base stats, but they differ in zoom optics, if any optics at all, available to the weapon, and they have slight differences in recoil and spread, and again, I'll cover that. You have to be anywhere between rank 1 and 3 for the Scout class to unlock these variants, and you'll need to spend at least 200 war bonds for each variant. The Infantry and Sniper variants of the Russian 1895 have a 56 round per minute fire rate, an 820 meters per second bullet velocity, a 12 meters per second squared gravitational constant, meaning you will suffer bullet drop substantially over range, and you'll begin to notice this at about 150 meters away. For the Trench variant, the fire rate is 124 rounds per minute, and the muzzle velocity, though, is a lot lower than the other variants at 580 meters per second. The magazine size for all of the variants is 5. In terms of reload speeds, it's going to take you a total of 3.87 seconds to reload from completely empty. If you have, and it's because it's a single, it can either be single round or 5 round strip clip reloaded. Minimize time, if put in a round or two or empty the entire clip magazine. You don't want to reload single rounds past 3. You can add a bayonet to all variants to stab people, but be aware that you will negatively impact how quick you can draw the weapon. In terms of the damage chart, the Infantry and Sniper variants have a base damage of 80 up to 40 meters away, then it increases to 100 damage at 60 meters, stays that way until about 98 meters, and then drops down back to 80 damage at 140 meters. The Trench and the Cavalry version are completely different, as they have a max damage of 79 up to 12 meters, and then drop down to a minimum of 40 at 40 meters. For sniper rifles in Battlefield 1, of course, the multipliers are 1.8 times per headshots. Upper body shots are 1 times, and lower body, arms, and legs, or lower body and upper arms are 0.9 times, and lower legs and lower arms are 0.75 times. So, of course, the Infantry and Sniper's sweet spot is about 60 to 98 meters if you land an upper body shot or a headshot, and it's one of the better medium range sweet spots in the game, and it makes it a fantastic option for aggressive medium range sniping. The Trench and Cavalry versions do not have basically a sweet spot killing range, so get in close and you'll need to use that very fast fire rate or a pistol for a follow-up shot to kill. In terms of recoil, the Infantry, Trench, and Cavalry variants have exactly the same recoil profiles. In terms of the recoil, vertically, it's 2 degrees of recoil, and then they have 1 degree of horizontal recoil, both left and right. The Sniper variant's different, though. It has 0.4 degrees of vertical recoil and only 0.1 degrees of horizontal recoil to the left and to the right, so it's quite clear the Sniper variant has the least amount of overall recoil. One thing to note, though, the Infantry and Cavalry variants have a better recoil decrease of 4.5 as opposed to the other variants that have 3, so it'd be better for a more aggressive, faster paced shooting style. In terms of evaluating spread, not surprisingly, they have absolutely no aiming down sight spread when shooting because the fire rate's not fast enough. Having said that, though, they do have 1 degree of spread when you're aiming down sights and moving, but you shouldn't be doing that if you're using a sniper rifle. In terms of hip-fire spread, it's a bit interesting. The Infantry and Cavalry variants have 2.5 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and not moving, and 4 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and moving. The Trench variant will encounter 1.667 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and not moving, and 2.668 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and moving. The Sniper variant's even more different. It will encounter 1.25 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and not moving, and 4 degrees of spread when hip-firing standing and moving. So, lastly, you'll encounter the least overall spread and recoil when going prone, But because these are single shot weapons, of course, with time to reset your movement between shots, your spread can easily be negated by not moving instead of needing to go to prone. Additionally, the sniper variant is best for spread decrease between shots. As you'd expect, being a bolt-action rifle, being stationary and taking time to aim will kill recoil and spread, so all of them are viable, but for mobility, the trench will allow you to hip fire and get in close with the least overall spread while moving. But, again, lastly, side note here, the sniper is actually weirdly the best for stationary hip firing as opposed to the trench. It's kind of strange, but take advantage of that. So what ranges and situations does the weapon excel? As noted earlier, the infantry and sniper variants output a max damage of 100 up to that 60 to 98 meter mark. So you're going to want max range, or you want to be in this range for max chance at a one-hit kill. For trench and cavalry, you want to be within 20 meters and play very aggressively because you have to take advantage of the steep damage drop-off inside of or outside of 20 meters. The sweet spot for the sniper variant is one of the best in the game. So take full advantage of that, and the relatively quick bolt cycling time means it's actually a really good option for aggressive sniping, though you're probably going to need a follow-up shot if you're in closer than 40 meters, just so you're aware. So again, what's my rating? Would I use it? Yes, I'd absolutely use this weapon. Despite the fall patch, which nerfed it a little bit, I still think it's an underrated weapon. The trench and infantry variants based on the stats of lower spread while moving are best for more active and more aggressive players. The medium range but stationary players, because of the recoil reset, infantry may be best if you prefer iron sights, but I don't know, I can't get used to iron sights. Personally, for me, I'm always a guy that likes the scope because that way I can traverse between ranges with no issues. This one here, because of the sweet spot, is best suited for medium-sized maps. So I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10 based on the logic presented above, and I personally think it's actually one of the better kept secrets for sniping in the game. I don't get killed by it an awful lot, and maybe that should increase a bit. If ranges start getting longer than 1 to 200 meters, then I'm going to flip over to the M1903 or the Cavalry 98. But other than that, this weapon is pretty solid across the board. There's nothing wrong with it in any way, really. So, if you liked the video, please leave a like, consider sharing it with your buddies, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Have a good one, YouTube.